Hi guys, in this video I'll be showing you the easiest way to weld aluminium. So today I'm going to weld together this air filter that I'm making up for motorbike here that I made. I've got another video on that. And then later I'm going to fix this vise which I broke the jaws off. This is cast aluminium, so I'll weld that up too. First thing you need is an AC/DC TIG welder. You can do it with a MIG welder as well. You can use a spool gun or a push-pull gun, or you can use the standard liner which blocks up constantly. So a TIG welder is the way to go. It's good for doing small projects. MIG welders are alright for doing big jobs like building a boat or something, even though you can do anything with this. You can build a boat with this, like which I have. The settings you've got to worry about is this one's got arc balance. One way cleans the electrode, the other way cleans the work. I usually have mine about there. Welding current, you change it depending on what job you're on. This is a downslope. I use a bit of downslope, I'll show you why in a minute. And the post flow, you need to have a little bit of post flow. Depends how much gas you want to save, I can have it quite low. And then for aluminium, you switch it to AC. You've got pulse, which I never use. That's pretty much all you need to do. As a good start, you can just start with every dial in the middle. You need to run argon gas, and for your flow you want about 8 litres a minute. So when you're welding aluminium, you need to get the oxide layer off. See how it's shiny? You can use a wire brush to do this, just on the edges where you're going to weld, but that takes ages. So what I do is use a wire wheel on the grinder. It's the fastest way to do it, and this is what I do all the time. Okay, so another thing with a TIG welder is you have to set stuff up so it's easy to weld, because you need both hands. So I just use pieces of blocks of wood to block it in the position I want. You can clamp it if you want, but this part's rounded so it's hard to clamp. You need your tungsten. You could just start with a flat end, and you really want it to ball up on the end. So what you can do is you can mess with the arc balance on a piece of scrap until that happens, and then sort of turn it back to the middle. Or you can switch to polarity, also does the same thing if that doesn't work. So I'll put that in and start using that. Then you got to select your cup. Your welder should come with a bunch of different sizes. This one you usually use for outside corners, and then you use a smaller one for inside corners, which I've broken most of mine. Even this one's got a chip out of it, but this one should work. And I usually stick my tungsten out probably 2 to 3 mil. You can't really go too much more. Maybe 10 mil if you've got a very deep V to weld into, but this should work for this. And with this cup, I usually run it flush or even inside a little bit, just so your tungsten lasts longer and stays cleaner. Okay, so I've got the setup now ready to weld. What you can do is get some Scotch-Brite and clean the wire to get the oxide off that as well. You don't have to, but I do it sometimes because this is an older piece of wire. And then what you want to do is you want to heat up a puddle. Once you see it start to flow, then you stab it in there a little bit at a time. I'm only going to stitch weld this because it doesn't need to be strong, but you'll get the idea. Okay, so I'll put the bigger cup on because I'm doing an outside corner now, and I'll push the tungsten pretty much flat with the cup. And this is what I do. I use the downslope since I don't have a pedal. Is as you go along, you press the button. As it gets too hot, you let it off. You can feed your wire, then you tap it again, it brings the amps back up, and you just keep doing this over and over until you get the right amps that you want, and you don't have to adjust the welder. So I'll see if I can show you that now. Okay, so that's welded off now. Show you where that fits. It's going to fit on there. I'll take that cover off. So the foam just sits in there. Anyway, next thing, I'll show you how to fix dirty cast aluminium. This stuff is a pain to weld. So first thing you got to do is wire brush everything, or I'm going to wire wheel it, get it all clean. Okay, so all I've done is clean this edge up, because normally I would V-prep it, but since I can do a fillet weld, I can build it up as big as I want to get lots of strength in it. And then I'll take this jaw off and get a little bit of weld on the other side, but it should be pretty easy. We'll see how good quality this alloy is. Okay, this part didn't weld too bad, but this cast alloy is quite bad quality. So yeah, it's spitting and carry on. So what I'll do is I'll grind it out and weld it again. The second time round it should weld a lot cleaner. So you can see all the porosity in that weld. But I'll weld it again and see if it clears up. There's only so much you can do with the cast's bad quality. Okay, it's not the best repair job, but it'll hold, and there's a lot more alloy on there than there was before, so that's good. I was going to weld on the inside, but it's that dirty that I'm not going to try, and I've got so much weld on the other side, I think it'll be okay. Okay, let's break down the cost. So this welder here cost me 1,400 bucks. Well, that's New Zealand money, so in America it'd be like 700. Gas bottle here, I have to rent it. It costs me $20 a month to rent, about $100 to fill it up each time. Packets of wire, I usually get the 2.4mm. These are about $50 a box. To weld aluminium, basically you need to fork out and get yourself a TIG welder, AC/DC. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.